So now let's move on to our logic module. Because yesterday I said logic module and today I also said this one. Let's see what our logic module can achieve. Logic module, it belongs to our system device. Okay, let's double click it to enter the basic setting. As our friends asked, because they said logic module can broadcast time. And yesterday, one of our clients asked how to make the granny display has the real time. Then you can set it here. You can enable the broadcast time function and select the auto adjust. This auto adjust will match the time in your computer. You can see here. When I click the auto adjust, it will follow your computer's time. Make sure your computer's time is correct. And then you tick the broadcast time to bus button and click save. And if you don't use your gateway to broadcast time, then the logic module will broadcast time to the panel, and the panel can have the real time. For all panel, logic module can achieve broadcast time to that. So if you have logic module, you can use it. This is how to broadcast time to the system. And this daylight function, if in your area you doesn't use this daylight time, please always remember to disable it. I have dealt with a lot of questions from both abroad and overseas clients. They ask me why they use the logic module to broadcast time, and the time will be different from time to time. And I will always ask them to check if they have enabled the daylight function, especially in area that they don't like. In China, we don't use the daylight time function, so we always need to disable it. So you have to check in your region if you use it or not. And this is to set the geographical position, and you can use auto locate. And if you have play, and this is different time. If you don't use it, you can ignore it. So this is the basic setting page of our logic module. Especially the time function. And please always remember, logic module and your gateway, one of it can you better use one of it to broadcast time to the system. Okay, now let's go to logic setting. Since you guys knows how to use the sensors to set conditions and the targets, and then when you use our logic module, then it's quite easy for you, because logic module can achieve functions like I will start from a very basic one, like you can set at 6 o'clock to turn on something in your house. And this is the logic list. In each logic list, it can set some subtables. Each table can set a condition and a target. You can see from here, I can set different table. Each table actually can set one condition and target. So that's our logic table. This logic table, you can see I select table 1 and I can right click here to set the target's input condition here. First, I need to set the condition. Okay, from now you can see the condition can be different. You can set 4 conditions for each table. And the condition type can be time, like year, date, week, time, and the internal UV switch. Internal UV switch means the UV switch of the logic module. External UV switch means the UV switch like from the sensor or from any other modules. And the external temperature means when you can set outside temperature as a condition, and a scene can be a condition. Sequence can be condition. Channel status can be condition. For example, you can set a condition when the first channel of the relay module on and then trigger another target. This is the light channel status. And the curtain channel status, you can set like when the curtain is open, this is the condition, and the target is to turn off the AC. You can, and this panel status and security. So compared with our sensors, our logic module have some more different functions. And for logic module, some of you may not need this because you think, especially when we have the link gateway. In link gateway, we have an automation function. From here, you can also set some logic. You can set some basic logic like at what time to turn on something, when AC on, close the curtain, and so on. So with this, if the user doesn't need a very complicated logic, they can just buy our link gateway. And as my friend Danny and Stas mentioned, because they want some complicated logic, it needs to use the UV switch, then must buy a logic module. And the reason for our link gateway to be popular in our customer is because it has the automation function. It's very convenient for them because even the end user can set some easy logic. No need a technician to set for them every time. So that's the advantage of our link gateway. Okay, so that's how to use our logic table. Now let me delete them. No need. Read one more time. And from here is the relationship between the conditions. You can add and, or, none, and, none, or. Okay. And if you just want an AND table, you want 2 targets, and click AND. And this is table 2. Actually, you can right-click the mouse and then click input condition. You can change the relations here. And from here, you can set 4 conditions. And now let me use an example. For example, if I want the AC to turn on when I close the curtain, I can set in here. Here is to make a remark for the table. I means AC on and the curtain close. Shutter close. My shutter, yesterday I make a shutter. Shutter close. And this is output remark. So I can put my output here. My output is shutter close, right? Because the target is shutter close. The condition is AC on. Now I make the remark so I can get it very clearly and add the condition type is curtain channel status. My curtain module is I don't remember it, so let me find it. My curtain module is subnet ID 8 and device ID 10. Okay, go to logic module again. Right-click and input condition. The condition type is channel status 8 and 0. Oh, it's my AC. Sorry, the condition is my AC. My AC module is 8.4. Because I want an easy example, let's change this. The condition is shutter close and the target is AC on. Okay, so I can use this curtain channel status 8, subnet ID and device ID 10, and channel number is 1 when the value is close. So this is the target, and then turn off this page and drag down and click this right click and control targets. Then I can add a target for it. Okay, I want AC on, my living room AC, and add on. Okay, and then click save. And yesterday Danny, do you remember I said the panel AC and the AC to be master and the panel to be slave, the operation and the control. And I forget to mention one thing, so I want to explain it here. You can see here we'll have the panel AC and the living room AC. They called a panel AC. This is especially when you use a logic module or OnPro to control it. If you want to upload the AC to OnPro, and if you select the HVAC as the master, means you select it as the operation and the control, then you just upload the HVAC module to OnPro directly. And if you select the panel as the master, then you add to OnPro or you add to our logic module as the targets, then you must select the panel AC. Am I clear about this? If the panel is the master, especially for the HVAC, then you must select the panel AC here. I will answer the question later. So that's the difference. And now let me add the target. I remember last month of the training, I write this to the engineer. They haven't replied me. I will update you later. Is it possible to write a rule in a logic block? Currently cannot, Yuri. Currently cannot. Okay, so that's how to use our logic table. You see, when you get to know how to use the sensor, Now you will know how to use our logic module because you only need to set condition and targets. So that's an easy part. You know the condition and targets. But if you want to use more complicated functions, then you need to use a universal switch. Do you remember, guys? Yesterday I mentioned that, let's take a review. I mentioned that when we use our DALI module's sequence function here, each sequence must start with the very first channel. We cannot create a scene to trigger the different scene. For example, I want the first step of the sequence is this scene, spring. Right? Yesterday I said we cannot achieve it without logic module. And now today I will show you how to use it with our logic module. First of all, you have to know how to use our universal switch from here. This is to make a remark for the universal switch. So you will know in the older software HDL Bus Pro Setup Tool, we don't have this page, as the logic module have 255 universal switch. It is very hard for the programmer to know which UV switch has been used or not. And now we add this page so we can make a remark. If I want to use this UV switch I have used, and I can make a remark so I can know which one I have used. It is because the UV switch, if you use it as a tag condition of one logic table, and then if you don't know you have used it, and later you use it again as a condition, it will have conflict. So it's important to make remark for them, and you will know which has been used. Okay, I will explain the UV switch once again. So for example, you want to trigger a target. Let's use logic table 1, and then you want the condition to be the UV switch inside the logic module, like UV switch number 1. You want it to be on. The status is on. And then turn on the light. Turn on DALI module, DALI channel 1. Okay. And here is repeat trigger. Trigger targets every time receive commands. We always ask you guys to check this box. If you don't check this box, means this is the condition, right? When I use a button to turn on this UV switch for the first time, if I didn't check this box, then I need someone to turn off this UV switch, and later when I press the button, I can turn on it again. So if I check this box every time, no matter its original status is on or off, every time I press a button to trigger this, it will turn on it and trigger the targets. So we always recommend you to check this box and then click setting. And right click to add control targets. Add on, and then click save. And I can create another table as use this as a condition. The UV switch 1 to be off and the turn off DALI channel 1. Okay, input condition 1 and the status to be off. Turn off DALI channel 1, turn off. Setting. Okay. And the control targets. Add. Add off. And then click Save. This is not finished because you need something to turn on and turn off the UV switch. You need to use a panel to turn on and turn off it. Okay, DLP. Use this page. And then single on and off. To turn on the UV switch, number 1. Add. Okay, you can have a remark and add on. And then it can turn on and turn off the UV switch. When you press this button for the very first time, it will turn on the UV switch and then trigger the targets and DALI channel 1 on. Obviously, you will not. You can see now this I have pressed, and now this UV switch has been turned off. Its target page will turn in red, means this condition has been met. Every time when the condition became red, means the condition has been met. So please pay attention to that. It's not a bug. It's just to tell you this condition now it has been met. Obviously, you will not use a panel. You can use a panel to turn on and turn off the DALI module directly. No need to use a UV switch to do that, right? It's too complicated. But we do need the UV switch, especially in situations that some functions needs the UV switch to realize that. For example, as our DALI module, if I want a sequence, I cannot make it to run from the scene number 4 to scene number 2 and to then scene number 3 and then scene number 1. It is because it will just have the channel, and every sequence first step is start with DALI channel number 1. Without logic module, we cannot achieve the function, so we have to use our logic module here. Now let me show you. During the day I have made some scene. You know how to make a scene, so I will not explain this anymore. And now I want make a DALI sequence. The first step is spring, and then the second step is warm scene, and later move to summer scene and then cold scene. How can I achieve that? I can use a logic module. Let's use this. Let's make it a remark. DALI sequence. Logic remark. DALI sequence. And then add some target. And now I need to use UV switch now. Input condition. And this is external UV switch. Oh, sorry. Internal UV switch. And let's use UV switch number 2. And this is DALI sequence. And now the condition is on. And the trigger. Click setting. Okay, and then as I want the very first step, every time this UV switch turn on and then trigger the targets, the very first step, as I said, I want to trigger my spring scene, right? Spring scene. Okay. Now the light scene, spring scene, add on. And then the second step, but the second step's condition is still UV switch, number 2, right? But the second step must be seeing my warm scene, and I can click add. And then just add the control targets. Scene number, my warm scene. My warm scene. And now, because I want table 2 to use the targets used in table 1, how can I achieve that? Guys, please pay attention. It's easy. You just link these two tables. You link it, and then table 2, no need you to set targets anymore. It will use the, no need you to set condition anymore. It will use the condition you used in table 1. You just need to right click and confirm start point. And the right click is confirm and then click save. Then table, it will tell you it's related to trial table 1. Means they have related, and then it will use the condition in table 1, and you can set different targets. Okay, and let me make a remark for the targets. This is my spring scene, right? Output is spring. Okay, and this is my warm scene. Make a remark. The output is my warm scene. And because they use the same targets, same condition, I want this to have some delay. Trigger this first, and later trigger this. Put some delay here, 5 seconds. And click setting. And the third thing I want is my summer scene, right? And I no need to input condition. I just need to set the targets at summer, add on, and make a remark to let you know what it output. What the output is, summer setting. And make a link, because you want the sequence is when you finish the spring scene and move to warm scene, and later move to something, right? So you have to make a link between the confirm start point and the confirm end point. Just needs link to table number 2, okay, and set some delay. And set another one is to trigger the code thing. Okay. Code. And some delay 5 setting. And the control targets. Code, add on, and then, so from here, and don't forget to make a link between them, confirm start point and the confirm end point. Click save. So now if you click save here, and then every time you use the panel to trigger the UV switch number 2 on, it will move a daily sequence like that. Okay. What is auto sort? Well, auto sort. means auto sort, make a sort of the tables. It will automatically make up the tables. If they, for example, if I drag them like this, and then click auto sort, it will sort the position of it, just to make up the table, because sometimes you may drag them into different positions, and then they will help you. Okay, so that's how to make a sequence. But of course, you just turn on the sequence. What if you want to turn off the sequence? How can you do that? It's very easy. You just need to add another table, and this is sequence off, DALL-E sequence off. Let me input the condition. DALL-E sequence off. And the output remark. Do you remember I said scene number 0 is always scene number 0? Scene number 0 is by default all off, right? I mentioned it all the time. And the condition type is internal UV switch and the number 2. You make it off. You just need to turn off the DALL-E sequence and then trigger scene number 0. Then you can make it off. Okay. And make the control targets scene number 0. No, let's see. DALL-E scene 0. 0 is by default or off. Sorry. Needs to add an off scene. Okay, and then click save. No need to link them because it's an all-off scene. Now I will use a panel to control the UV switch number 2. And then every time I push it on, it will trigger the sequence. And later, when I press the button again, it will turn off the UV switch and it will trigger scene number 0, and then it will stop the sequence. Now let me do that. DALL-E sequence. Because the condition is UV switch number 2 of logic module, so you just need to control it to make it on and off. DALL-E sequence. And then use single on and off and add the target is DALL-E sequence, add on. And now you can see here, when I go to push this on, this condition will be met and it will turn on. Okay. Read color. Okay. Let me turn on and turn off it. The page is page 3. Bottom 4. Okay. Let me push the button. Okay. Now the sequence is running in my training box now. So because read takes some time. You can see now because the sequence is running now, and then and if you want the sequence this is finished from the very first step to the last step, and if you want it to running all the time, you can make a link between them, between the first table and last table, and then turn off it. Okay, because it's a little bit complicated, please tell me if I am clear. Yes, 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 I agree, and we have feed this back to the engineer. I have feedback. And hi guys, is this because it's a little bit complicated? Please let me know if I'm clear. And don't worry, this step I will write down and send to you guys. Even you, and after you get the device, you can make a practice, then you will know it. And I will give you guys some time to think about it. If you have questions, please let me know. Let's take a 5 minute break. It's now it's a break. And later, Danny, I will show you the one you mentioned, and then other customer can learn it. Let's take a break. You can look at the time in the right corner of my computer. Okay. PIR and light on, and then if you want to use it, then you need to input condition, and the condition, let me use internal UV switch 3 as on. Setting. And then when the UV switch 3 is on, then you can turn the target is turn on the light and then disable the PIR sensor. Control targets is to turn on the light. Let's use the color temperature as an example. Add on and add another condition is for the sensor. Remember it's 8. And then turn off it. And another one is when you want to turn off the light, then you can make another table. The input condition is to turn off the UV switch number 3. And the condition is to turn off the light. Turn off the light. And then enable the sensor. Enable it needs to add on, and then click Save. So by this time, you use the panel to turn on and turn off this universal switch. Then it will only control the UV switch in the logic module, so it will not affect. Then it will not have conflict. Hi, Danny. Am I clear about this part? Okay, you are very smart. You too. Okay, explain please. Restore status. Reboot in table settings. Sorry, Stas, I don't understand this question. Can you explain? Reboot. Restore status. Restore status. Here. You mean? Sorry, I get it. You mean here, right? Okay, because this software's translation has changed compared with the old software. Let me check. One moment. I will answer later. I don't remember it because the translation is different. It means it will back to the status when power on. SDK to translate it. I don't have it, and I will send to Richard. now I send to Richard. Ask Richard to give it to you. To ask the engineer to give it to you. I don't have it. And this means Stas. This means later when it power off, if you check this box, it will restore the status when power on. It will recover to the status when power on. For example, if this UV switch is on, and later when you power down, the power failure, and when get power again, it will go back to on when power on. That's the use of this. No, it seems not when power on. I will check Stas. Sorry. Enable device. This is recover the status before power on. Recover the status before power on. I've confirmed before power on. Enable device means activate the device. It means enable or disable the logic module. Enable and disable the logic module. Just for logic module. And I will is to enable or disable the logic module. Sometimes when they check some issues, they don't want the logic module to send targets, especially when maybe David has do something for you like this. They go to the tool to read the code and know which targets trigger it, and to read the command, and at that time they don't want the logic module to trigger the targets to affect them. They can just disable the logic module to let them not work. You can see. Let me disable it. Let it not work. If you want it to not work at this time, you can just disable it. And for logic module will read status from UV switch in panel. You mean from here? Panel status. You mean from here? Do you mean here? No, it just the recover is means if you check the recover box, then it means the UV switch status, will go back to the status before power off, before power down. If you doesn't check the box, it's all about UV switch. It cannot read the status of the panel. Because external UV okay, I will check with the engineer. I'm not sure. Let me take a screenshot. I will check with them. I will feedback later. Hello guys, any other questions about logic module? If no more, I need to finish what I have said in while we are learning. Okay, don't worry, Stas, I will check and answer you. And I have checked with David, and he said that for the external UV cannot. It can only recover itself, cover logic module itself, UV switch. Okay, and because I said today, if I set a condition, the condition is I want during the day I install let me explain this again. Install a PIR sensor, 7-in-1 sensor in my bathroom. In one sensor in my bathroom. And I want every time at night when I go to the bathroom, we'll turn on the first channel of DALI module on, and at the day and during the day. When I go to the bathroom, DALI module 1 off, DALI module channel 1 off. This is frequently used and you need to use it with our logic module. So you can see here are two targets. Actually are 3 conditions. First of all, you need something to help the sensor to know whether it's at night or during the day. And it needs to detect the darkness and the PIR sensor, right? To detect the movement. So at the sensor here, we set here, when movement is detected and darkness is detected, to turn on the first channel of DALI module. And during the day, we don't want the sensor to work. So we can, because it don't set the time, we need to set a time for it. Especially if at a time range, we don't want this to work. Even when the condition is met, for example, even when the condition is met, I don't want them to work during that time. How can we say that? We need the help of our logic module, because logic module actually is a module for the timing. So if at that time we don't want this sensor to work, even when the condition is met, we can use our logic module. I want to emphasize it because it's important. It's frequently asked questions, and I have put it in the test, so please pay attention to this. You set the condition and target here, but if I ask you to make this PIR sensor and lux sensor not work during a time range, you need to use logic module. The way to do it is to, first of all, you can use the logic module to set a time as condition, and the target is to make it work or not. So you can turn on and turn off the UV switch to make it work or not work, right? It's easy. So you want to achieve this target. You want to realize this function, and you just need a time condition. So you can use the logic module to do that. And then you use the logic module to turn on and turn off the PIR sensor and the lux sensor. So you can enable and disable the sensor. So this logic became very easy. For example, during the day, I don't want the logic sensor and I don't want the lux sensor and the PIR sensor to work. I can just set a time as condition and then just turn off the UV switch of them. Then when I turn off it, means I disable it, so they cannot work. Very easy, right? This question become a very easy one, right? I just need to turn off the sensor, let them not work. So even the condition is complicated as this, you can find the simple logic between them because you only need to not make the sensor work. Okay, it's easy. I just need to turn off the UV switch. Okay, so now if at this time, let me make a PIR sensor and the lux sensor not work. And then I can add and set a time condition. Time. For example, during the no, I will enter it manually. During 7 o'clock to 18 o'clock, I don't want the sensor to work. Then I set the target is to turn off the sensor, then they cannot work. It's very easy. Okay, brightness sensor and lux sensor add off, now let them work. When turn off this, they cannot work, right? And then click save. And if at night I want this sensor to work, I can just add another target, another time, input, and the time start from this 01 to setting, and then set the targets. Because I want them to work, so I add them on to enable it. Okay, and then from the logic module, at the time I can turn on and turn off the sensor. And then in the sensor, I can set the sensor's targets, so they will not be complicated. It's very easy to set. During this time, I want the sensor not work. During this time, I want sensor work. How to work? How to trigger the targets? Please go to the sensor to set it. So after I set this, during this time at 7 o'clock in the morning and 18 o'clock, in the afternoon, the sensor cannot work. Every time I go to the bathroom, even when the condition is met, when the lux is below 50 and the movement is detected, it will not trigger the target because the sensor cannot work at this time. And later, during the night, the lux sensor can work and the PIR sensor can work and detect the lux below 50 and movement, and then they can work. Okay, am I clear about this part? Don't worry if I talk about it too fast and then you don't understand it or I didn't make it clear. Please let me know. I can explain one more time because it's important. Okay, seems, yeah, all of you are very smart, so you get it quickly. Yeah, because we have new clients here, just a simple example. And I want to make sure all of them understand it. Okay, if I'm not clear about this part, please let me know. So that's how to use our logic table. You can disable the sensor, make them not work, and set a time, set everything here. But if you don't want this complicated logic, you can go to our automation. Now I will add all the targets we have added in Bus Pro Gateway and then upload to our OnPro, and I will tell you some function in OnPro now and tell you how to deliver the project. Now let me add the shutter because here don't have shutter here. Don't have the shading. Okay, let me add it too. And now guys, the very first day when I show you guys how to make the gateway connect with the cloud, I said every time when you want upload the project to OnPro, please make sure the connection of the gateway and the cloud is online. And I have uploaded this. If you don't know how to make the gateway online, please go over this video and this video link I have sent. I can send one more time after this training and later tomorrow, because tomorrow when the Core Master training finished, I will send you guys test. It's a theory test and a programming test. If you don't know how to make the gateway online, please check this video. After you make this the connection of gateway and cloud online, you can add all the functions you want to OnPro. And then click Save and click Upload. Now I will upload the project to OnPro. While it's uploading, I want to connect my mobile phone so you can know how to use it. Okay, now it uploads successfully. Now let me use my account. My account is this one. Because this project haven't delivered to end user, so I still can use this account, my account, to log in OnPro and to check whether each function can work properly. Now let me log in this account in my OnPro. And now I will let you show the page, the image in my OnPro. I need to connect it. A moment, please. Okay. Now I will scan the QR code and let you see what will happen in OnPro and what functions we can use in OnPro. Okay, now this is my mobile phone and I have logged in my account. You can see it takes some time. You can see this is my account, the same in what I have used in Studio, right? LJJ. This account is given by the engineer, LJJ. And now here is the project training of KNX. It's not what the project I am using as example. Now you can see our project is November, training in November, right? Training in November. Then how can I switch to that project? Please click this button. Because the clients always ask this question, how to switch to another project. Please click this button. You will see all your projects. Okay, now let me switch to training in November 1. And as I have uploaded the project to OnPro, let's see, go to category. You will see, I ask you guys to assign room. Assign each channel to different room, to the room as it was. So you can see now here, you can control the DALI channel, you see, and the color temperature. And the RGB, if I turn on it, you can see. That's how to use. And if I want, go to the smart here, no, go to category and the function here, light. And I can make a combined dimming and select them all and confirm. I can adjust here and make a combination dimming. This is what OnPro have. And after you test all the function can work and the AC, you test whether it can work. Okay, can work properly. After you test all these, you can deliver the project. The AC and the curtain like this. And you will see each function will have a star-shaped button. This button is to make a shortcut in the home page. You can see now there is no favorites in my home page. And I click a function and a light. I make it, then it will appear in my home page. And if I don't want this to appear in my home page, I can click this heart-shaped button, star-shaped button, and it will disappear. And this is just a shortcut. And in OnPro, it will have the smart function, scene. You can create scene here. You can, when you deliver the project to the end user, they can click here to create scene. Make it a name and add targets. And the automation function is something like logic. Can add the moment as condition. Can see time range, start time, for example, and the end time. And then it will ask you to add a target to on and off, and delay or not, no delay, complete and save. So even end user can make this because OnPro is for end user to use it. And the security, you can custom deployment and deployment here. So this is all the function. And now this is what OnPro have. Now I want you to deliver the project to an end user. For end user, please pay attention. I have emphasized it all the time. For end user, please go to the ask them to download an OnPro app from Google Play for Android, and iOS just download in App Store. And then click here, sign up. Click sign up. For end user, for the house owner, just click sign up. Agree this first. Click sign up. And then click email address to register an account. And the server, they must select Bahrain server. As I mentioned, you are overseas clients. This must be the Bahrain server. This is very important for end user to register account. Must use Bahrain server. Okay, and then when they register an account, for example, when they finished the register account, and then they can log in the account. Log in the account, it will tip them to scan a QR code. And the QR code, you will give them how to get a QR code. For example, my customer is David, and I want to deliver the project to him. Then David needs to register an account in here first, and then as I want to deliver the project to him, I have to go to the, you can see, go to the project list. This is my account, ljj@hdlchina.com.cn. And now I need to change the debugging status of it to be delivered. The second I change it to be delivered, it will generate a QR code, and then I can send this QR code, take a screenshot of this QR code, and send to David. And David can use his account, which is registering on Pro, to scan this QR code, and then this project will be given to him. And when I log in this account, my account will not have this project, and David will get this project. Now let me do this. Okay, to be delivered, and click refresh. Okay, let's see what happened. Training in November, and here is a QR code. Okay, click it. It will ask you to download the QR code. Okay, you can put in the desktop. Okay, put it in the desktop, and it will have a QR code. Let me end this. Okay, it will have a QR code. You can see the QR code is generated in November, and then you can send this to the end user. Ask them to scan this QR code, then you can deliver the project. Now let me finish this. Let me log in my account to let you see that I don't have this. This project is not. I will log in David's account to scan this QR code. David is my colleague, so I want to use his account. Okay, as an example. Now, not my account. My account is, this one is an engineer. It's engineer LGG, and now I log in David's account. David is a support, so his account is support account. Supports. Okay, you can see now I log in David's account, and from his account, let's go to here. There is no training in November project, right? There is no training in November project. Okay, now I will use his account to scan this QR code. scan. To scan this QR code. How to scan is to click this personal center and then scan QR code. Okay, scan. Okay, now you get the training in November, and you can see this account is David. This is David's Chinese name. Okay, you can see all the functions all appear in here. And later, David's wife needs an account to log in on Pro. The same, David's wife must register an account in OnPro. Go to register an account in OnPro, and then David can go to member here. Go to the member option here to add his wife's account. Okay, let me use another colleague's account. Sorry, just use my another account as an example. Add this. He needs to add an account. This is just a family member or his housekeeper or something else. They need to register an account first before David can be able to add them as a family member or someone else. They need to register an account in OnPro directly and give the account to David, and then David know their account and click add. Okay, now let me add to tell you there is something you need to pay attention. Sorry, this is the account and this is the name. For example, this is Sarah, just Sarah, and click confirm. And then when Sarah log in her account, she will be able to control things. And this is very important, is to give user permissions. If I finished in here and didn't give any user permission to her, like the living room, if I want Sarah to be able to control the things in living room, I must select for her. If I forget, then Sarah will have no permission and cannot control everything in the house. This is frequently asked. They will always forget when they give permission for the family member. They always forget to select permissions for them. So they will ask us why didn't when add a family member but they cannot control anything. It is because they forget to give the user permission. So if you have a housekeeper and someone else, you don't want to be able to control all the things in your house, then please always remember to assign different permissions to them so you can realize the management of the house. Okay, this is important. Oh, this is how to add the family members. Okay, and this member option is to add a family member, and this residence option is if later David don't want to manage all this because only the admin user can add a family member. Then someday David don't want to have the admin, don't want to be the admin member. He wants to make this admin authority migrate to his wife, then he can just confirm and migrate to Sarah. For example, if Sarah is his wife, then migrate this to her. Okay, then Sarah will be able to add family members and manage all the house. And this privilege migration is later when David sell this house to someone else, then he can migrate the privilege to him. And the debugging privilege is if David wants the engineer to help him to change some settings in his house, then remotely, and he can set this. Because you can see now this project is in David's account. David's account is support 7 at HDL Automation. But as I am the one to help him do the programming, the project data is still in my Studio app. And later, David called me and said, Michelle, can you help me fix something? And can you help me do some change? Okay, it's okay. And I can click open this project. I can use the cloud data. The cloud data is the data I have uploaded to cloud. And if I don't, because David has used it for a time, for example, I can use the cloud data. And the cloud data is from OnPro. And if I don't want to use that, I can use Studio. Because as some user can make automation, security, and thing, right, by themselves. So if you want to read that back, you can use the cloud data. But now, today, David haven't used his house for a day. And I just make example. I want to be fast, so I use Studio data. Because download data needs some time. I use Studio data. And when David opened this permission to me, open this debugging privilege, it means I can remote to connect to the project. Click the network device. Click the IP configure here and click remote control. So I am now in my office and I select MQTT and click search. I can find the project November in December. You can see training in November is online now. I can connect to the project and do remote modification. I can search the project and do some modification for him. So with this function, if David call me, ask me to do some modification, to do some fix some issue for him, no need me to go to site every time. I can remote to his house and then change something for him. So he can turn on this function. And later, when the modification is finished, he can turn off this. He can turn off this privilege function. Then I cannot see. I cannot remote to his house. So it will ensure the safety of his data. Okay, but what if, just an example, what if I deliver the project to David today, but David didn't pay all the money to me. He just pay half of it. And as I deliver the project to him, he can control everything. What if he will not pay the money to me anymore? The another half of money he didn't pay me because he can turn off this, right? Turn off this debugging privilege. And then I cannot see anything and I cannot control. And he don't want to give the another half money for me. then it's a great loss for me because I do the permission, I do the configuration and deliver the project to him and sell the products to him. But he didn't pay me the next half money. How can I protect the right of me? I can go to the AIoT platform once again, and then I can take this project back. Okay, when David turn off the permission, so I cannot remote to his house. And what if he didn't finish, he didn't done the payment? How can I get the project back? I can go to the AIoT platform and then get a project rollback. Okay, you can see. Let me log in the IoT platform. Because when you go to the it takes some time because it's a Bahrain server account. So every time it takes some time for me to enter the AIoT platform because I am in China. Okay, I can use a PowerPoint to when you log in your AIoT platform in the operation platform, it will have you find the project and it will have a project rollback. You can roll back the project. Let's see if I log in. No, I cannot. Just you can go to the operation platform and click the project rollback button. Then when David log in his account, he will not see the training in November project. And then you can get it back and force him to give you the money. So that's how to use it. Am I clear about this part, guys? Okay, great. Thank you, Yuri. Okay, when you log in this platform, you will see that button and you will understand it called project rollback. Project rollback. Project rollback. I cannot log in because especially in the afternoon when a great many overseas users log in this platform and I am in China, then it takes a long time for me to log in. And so that's how to protect the right of both customer and the technician. And so that's all the important function in OnPro I want to share. But also here is one more special function. Some of you may not know this. So I want to share. It is Even you buy just a normal link gateway from us, if you are an iOS user, then when you click individual, you can add a shortcut to Siri. I will answer this question later. You can see click individual. Here we'll have a Siri shortcut. And I am use iPhone 14. So I am an iOS user. And if I have a thing and I can add to Siri shortcut. So I can add it. And then when I say, hey Siri, and then it can trigger the thing for me. So that's a shortcut. And if you have you have Alexa, Google Home, the voice speaker, you can use voice control. Just needs to log in your Alexa and the Google Home, and then find the HDL Smart Home and bind the skill, and then they all can work. For KNX system, it needs a link gateway and add driver. You can ask David for help. And driver for KNX system. What app? Okay. And the UV control to on Pro. I heard one version can work now. I don't know whether it finished test or not. I heard one version can work. I will check. So for what app to be used with KNX system, you need link gateway and a special driver. Please ask David to help you now. Or I can help you after the training. And for this, Teddy, your question is Studio is the way to existing program set in HBS2, how to migrate. For example, you already make programming in HBST2. You only need to add a link gateway. And all the functions you have programming, like in your dimmers, RGB dimmers, relays, and shutters, when you use them, they can be found in OnPro. You can read them back. The only difference is the gateway. You can see this project I programmed in Studio, and let me turn off this and then go to HDL Bus Pro 2. Some of the data can read back, some of them cannot. If you want to use OnPro, you need to add a gateway. You can see the remark is all here, and especially for the DALI module, you can see the panel I have programmed it. And actually some of the data can be used in both software. Teddy, you can try to check if the data can be read back. If can be read back, yeah, you need to read the data back in Studio. If this, for example, for the sequence and everything can read back, then you only need to add the functions in the link gateway and upload to OnPro to the cloud. Then can work. There is no special way for how to make the program in old software and to the new software. But if you want to use on Pro, then just search the targets, search all the device and try to read the data back. If cannot, then you need to do it again and add a gateway to add them to the function page and upload. That's the only way. Okay, that's all the training of our our devices, and now you know how to log in Studio on Pro and deliver the project. Yeah? Any questions to ask me? I saw you open the microphone. And tomorrow is about QuillMaster. And tomorrow I will send you a test link. A test link for the theory test, and also a PDF for the a PDF for the programming test. You can see it will be like this, and it will send to you guys. Ask you first of all to make remark for each channel, and this living room means I want you to assign into living room, and it's the name of the channel. I want you to make remark and assign position. And this is the dimmer, DALI module. And these are the functions I want you to make. For example, DLP panels function AC page to control the living room AC, and the button 1, page 1, button 1 and button 2, I want you to combine them and to control a scene welcome mode to turn on all lights in living room and living room AC like that. No, you can add another link gateway. You can add a link gateway directly. For example, at sites, you have the one-port switch, and then you just need to add a link gateway and then go to Studio to search and find the link gateway. And then add all the things in a link gateway. Make them connect to the same router. It will be like this. This is the router. And then you already have a IP module, the IP module and all the devices. Okay, this is the original system. And later you want to use on Pro, you can add a link gateway to the router as they are in the same network. When you use on Pro, you can search and find the link gateway and the IP gateway and its devices, and follow the way to make the programming to the gateway and so on. Just need to make the gateway online and add all the original functions like the shutters here, shutter, blinds, AC, lights, all here, and then upload to OnPro. It's okay, so it's easy now. And okay, so tomorrow is QuillMaster, the QuillMaster solution. So please join us. And tomorrow I will send the video link, test link, and the PDF for the test, like this. Just Especially when I said button 1 and button 2, it means I want you to make a combination of these two buttons. It's easy. I think all of you can pass this. When you pass the theory test and the configuration test, an advanced level certificate will be given to you guys. If you have link gateway can work. If you have link gateway can work now. With Home Play can work, but can only use the music in the US U-Disc. No, just the music in USB. Then you can use the link gateway. Use the link gateway to replace the old one, to replace the IP module. Okay. Yeah, and I will push. I will tell Richard as well. And about the SDK of OnPro, of Studio, I will ask Richard to send to you, or when I get it, I can send to you because you will get it from us. Okay, so no more training for today, and we finished all the training. The test will be coming soon, and I will give all of you 10 days. I will send it on Friday. Friday is 17th, and then you can. The deadline of the test is 27th. Okay, I will give you guys 10 days. 10 days to do the test. And if you don't have some device, please add it from the device catalog to make the test. Hi. Yeah, tomorrow we will talk about the Codemaster. The Codemaster, yeah? Yeah, actually I'm uploading, but it takes time because I need to use VPN. And tomorrow I will send. My pleasure. Because especially when I am in China and I need to upload something to Google Drive, it needs VPN and takes time. So I will send with the test so you can review. Don't worry. Hello guys. Any other questions? Please feel free to let me know. And if you don't pass the test, you need to join next training. Yes, after the training, after the test, yeah, you can send me I will write all the requirements. You can send me the account, password, and the project name for me to check. And then you can get the one. And if you have some some questions, and I find it's not, we have an easy way to reach that function, I will write email to you and let all of you know what's the better solution. Okay, and the link, I'm trying to find the link for you guys. A moment. And don't worry, when I send the test to you guys, I will also send you the video link. Okay, I find it. Hello, Danny. No need to say thank you. Thank you. And guys, please keep this. This link is for all the tests. Oh, for all the record. And okay, now it's all for today. And if you have time, please leave your this is a trainer evaluation link. The second link is for you tell my boss and tell our HDL about our training. You can write your complaints or suggestions for our training. Then we can get a feedback. And tomorrow when Codemasters training is over, I will send you the test link, video link, and also a PDF for the configuration test. And because here are too many people join the training. If I haven't made something clear, please feel free to write to me. I will answer you one by one. This is my email address. Please feel free to let me know. Okay, that's all for today. Thank you. Thank you, Yuri. Thank you for taking time to join us all the time. And thank you. Bye-bye. Have a nice day, my friends. 不用谢，拜拜。Have a nice day. Bye bye.